Hi everyone. This week our project we are going to be talking about value. So value is how light or dark a hue is. And by hue I mean color. So looking down here, this is a value scale. I used a purple crayon and I have a dark, medium, and light. So for the dark I pressed really hard when coloring. Medium I let up just a little bit, and light I was barely touching that piece of paper. So when you look at it, you can see there are three different shades of value. So we went dark, medium, and light. Now to use our value, we are going to be thinking this week about things that are delicious. I want you to think to yourself, when you think of the word delicious, what comes to mind? I know at first I think of sweets like cupcake or ice cream, but you might not have those in your pantry right now. We are going to be creating a drawing over the course of the next couple weeks that is a delicious value drawing. To begin today, I want you to think to yourself, you're an artist. You can create a value scale. Begin using the steps of the art making process. We are going to brainstorm some delicious things that you could draw. Use your problem solving skills to figure out which drawing would you like to turn into a final art piece. We're going to figure that out by sketching and planning out our idea. First things first, I need you to open to a new page in your sketchbook or find some paper that you can use. And you are going to split that page in half hot dog and in half again hamburger style. We are going to be creating thumbnail sketches on this page. Thumbnails are how artists very quickly sketch out some ideas of theirs before they pursue the final drawing. This way they can test some different ideas out and know where they're thinking of going. But first we want to practice how to create a value scale. So you can either just use a pencil for this, or if you'd like to use some color, grab one crayon. I'm going to use this top right quadrant right here to do my value scale. So what I want you to do is draw 3 squares. Here's my first one. If you want, I'm actually just going to keep going all the way down and split it in half. So I have 3. I want you to start with your dark value, and then we're going to transition to the medium and a light value. So using your crayon or your pencil, with that dark one, we are going to press down pretty hard. Try not to break your crayon, as difficult as that may be. But when we press down dark, pressing down hard, we are creating our darkest value. One reason I want you to practice making a value scale is first to see how to make one, but also this is going to help you later on in your process. A lot of times artists like to create value scales and use them as they create art, to use it almost like a tool. All right, once you have your darkest down, I want you to press. Actually, we're going to do our lightest. To me, I've always found it easiest to start at my darkest, do my lightest, and then find a middle ground. So for light, I want you to just very lightly graze your crayon or pencil on the page. Do not use a marker for this activity. This will not work out. Markers only have one value. So you can see I am barely touching that page. I just want to very lightly get color on there. And for medium, we're going to go in between. So I'm going to press down, not super hard. And you can see by going and doing the dark and lightest first, I can kind of see how hard I need to press to get that middle value. It's kind of like a puzzle. And that is your value scale. So I want to see that on your page so I can see that you understand how to create one. Next, I have 1, 2, and 3 empty boxes. this is where we are going to be doing our sketching and planning. I want you to go in your kitchen and find 3 things that you think are delicious. As hard as it may be, you gotta pick 3. If you just cannot decide and you have to do a 4th one, I'll allow it, but try to focus on 3. So when I went in my pantry, these were 3 things I found that I thought were delicious. First thing I found was a bunch of bananas that I could draw. I had some gummy candy that I thought would be really fun. And lastly, I have some bread. Probably not the first thing comes to mind with delicious, but I love it, so I'm gonna try it anyways. In each one of these quadrants, I want you to draw that food. So I'm gonna start with my bananas because they're right in front of me. I'm gonna move my stuff around. And this is where you're gonna wanna kind of play around with how you want that to be sitting. So do you want it to sit like this? Maybe you wanna try it upside down, scatter around like that. How do you want to draw this? I actually kind of like, I'm gonna stick with the traditional shape like this and draw it on your page from where you can see it. Now, one thing you might want to do, if you want to color this in a little bit, this will be optional. I know sometimes I like to color things in to see how it would look. This would also be a time if you want to practice value. You could try that. So I see some brown on there as well. Maybe you want to put some of those spots on there. You're going to continue this process for the other 2 quadrants that you have down here. So I'm done with my bananas. Now I can move my paper up. I'm going to think about my other objects I have and draw them on here as well. All right, so once you finish drawing all of your objects, I want you to look at them and decide which one do you think you want to turn into a final art piece. So looking at mine, I actually really like the way that my bananas turned out. I thought that that one was the most interesting. I really don't like the way my gummies turned out. I just don't really think I can tell they're even gummies. And the bread one, I was kind of liking it. I liked my idea of the plate, but overall, I think I'm going to do bananas. So I'm going to put a check mark next to it. And this week, I need you to turn in a page like this. So you're going to have your complete value scale, 3 sketches of 3 separate food items that you think are delicious, and a check mark next to the one that you would like to turn into a final art piece. We will be continuing this project in another 2 weeks, but I want you to focus on your planning and sketching first. Have fun.